If you come down. Okay, you can actually go down.
Okay.
This bird's also got a really interesting history. About 15 years ago, a man came in to see me and told me about a bird that he'd bought on the side of the road in Durban. And when he told me about that, and he said, and I smuggled it across the border and I brought it into Zim and I want to release it. And I said to him, well, let me have a look at what it is. Anyway, I knew then that it was a jackal buzzard, and jackal buzzards don't occur naturally in Zim. So I advised him that he cannot release it back to the wild because it's not indigenous. Anyway, he ignored me. He didn't bring the bird in for us to take care of. And he did release it, in fact, in his garden in Borrowdale. A couple of months later, a bird is brought in that had flown into a car, and I got the bird and I looked at it and I, wow, this is the jackal buzzard that he told me about. So he had just released it. It flew into a car, so it got an injured wing on the other side. But on top of it, the worst problem is he's got a psychological problem now. Because the bird was hand-reared by a white guy, carefully hand-reared by a white person, that bird is now imprinted on male white people.
Okay.
So he hates male white people. That's why I call him Julius.
So you guys are not even friends.
Okay, so they all got their names, okay? So Julius here hates white males, okay? So he's always watching me, and if he gets a chance, he'll attack me, okay? So he is no way can he be released back to the wild because one, he's not indigenous, and two, he hates white people. So we've got all these birds with different, and so it's what we call a psychological issue. Okay, most people say, he's just crazy, but in fact there's a problem and he can't ever be released. And if I got another jackal buzzard, he wouldn't want to breed with him because he thinks he's a white male. That's what he thinks in his head, you see.
It's a natural thing.
Yeah, it's called imprinting or mal-imprinting, if you want to look at the psychological side of birds. And that's the one beautiful thing about falconry. Falconry teaches people to work with birds of prey and get to understand their psychology and what they want to do, what they don't want to do, and how to gain their trust. Okay. And then you take that bird, you can release them, they can fly hundreds of kilometers and come back to you and work with you as a partner. Okay. That's a beauty. But Julius here, definitely you wouldn't.